Hello again, it's Sylvain here with more blah 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 about art and sharing my experience and my thoughts and my history as an artist. I turned 57 this year, and I've been doing this most of my life. And this last series of talks has really been directed more to the beginning artist, but I think a lot of it also applies to mid-career artists. Um, and what I want to focus on in this talk is galleries, festival, websites, blogs, all of that. There's a lot of sources for information on all this stuff, and actually, there's so much information out there by people who are very well meaning um, and have really good ideas, um, who all seem to speak in a similar language, but it can be confusing because the language language is slippery. You know, William Burroughs once said that language was a virus from outer space. As a writer, that's a really comical thing to say because what he's admitting, in a way, is that no matter how well constructed your sentence or your grammar or your vernacular is, um, what your real intent is in when you say things with words is never transmitted with those words because the person who hears those words has a completely different set of filters than you do, and they hear something else. This is what happens on the internet. If you're looking for information, for instance, on how do I be successful? How am I a successful artist? Again, I'm going to refer people to Paul Klein. I think he's the best source of information I've found to date. There may be others. Um, but there are those who will just tell you, okay, 5 ways to be successful on the web, or 5 ways to be successful in festivals, or these kind of things. Um, I'm not saying don't watch those. I'm just saying try to understand the culture, the village, the art village that those people are speaking from. So this goes back again to a fundamental decision we have to make as artists. Am I going to be influenced by market, or am I going be damned the market going to do what I believe in and satiates my spirit? That's the big seesaw in life, because some of us have to worry about feeding ourselves or paying the rent, and so that question keeps reappearing. I know I'm not happy. I'm not a happy artist if I'm not creating work that I believe in. That said, 6 months after I create work that I believe in, I look at it and I may not believe in it anymore. I may even paint over it. Nothing is sacred. We grow, we evolve, we keep changing. Every painting I do is an education to me. And every time I do it, I try to self reward. So that's starting to be repetitive. You already heard these words from me. What I want to focus on is galleries. Galleries run the gamut just like what? Just like shoe stores. There are shoe stores you can go in and they have wall-to-wall shoes everywhere, and you buy one get one free or half price, and blah blah blah. And there's Walmart that looks a lot like that, but the pricing structure is different. And then there's designer shoe stores which have beautiful displays of many shoes, and then there are high-end shoes, and some of them you can even get custom tailored. I remember the first time I put on a almost $400 pair of Italian shoes, and this was back in the 80s. Uh, I put them on; they felt like air. I put them on. I thought, "There's no way. This is like a slipper." I put them on, walked around, and thought, it was like wearing nothing on my feet, and yet my feet were protected and supported. It was like sleeping on a perfect bed that just the moment you lay down in it, you just go. Ah. That I couldn't believe it. I never knew what a $400 pair, and this was back in the 80s again. So I don't know how much they cost now, but these were like hand tailored shoes. Uh, Galleries are the same way. There are galleries that have frame shops in them. Clue. um, they're about selling product. It's a retail outlet. Having said that, some galleries with frame shops are higher in quality than others. Some galleries are just pristine white walls, stained concrete floors, and they have uh, more elite, more less I wouldn't say not market driven, but certainly less market driven. They're not trying to sell quantity, they're trying to sell one ofs. They may represent just a few artists, and they work really hard on promoting those artists. Really cool. Um, that's the kind of gallery I like to visit and I'd like to be a part of. Um, uh, there are festivals the same way. There are festivals that are more like flea markets, and there are festivals that have juried competitions and try to address many forms of art, usually local artists. And then there are festivals like Art Basel and so forth that are really about the highfalutin galleries getting into a huge marketing situation with huge amounts of money. Um, so how you get involved in that? It's that age-old question. Are you going to, if you're if if you're driven by the market, select which sector of the market you're going to be driven in. But I really caution you here because the fundamental, and for me and for most people who give you advice on success and artist careers, is that you need to be happy with yourself. You need to be looking at what you need to achieve in life to satiate your desire. That said, some people could repeat the same thing the rest of, just like any other career. Some people are happy working in a manufacturing plant doing the same job for 50 years. They're really happy with that. I would go absolutely out of my mind doing that. So we're all different. Pick what's important to you. Um, as far as, excuse me, battery's getting low, so plug that in. Um, Now web, ooh, that is a huge. That's like the wild, wild west. There are so many scams out there, tons, and some of them are well-meaning, but I group them together in scams because look, if you as an artist are going to pay somebody for the privilege of putting your work on their site. And I don't care if this is the web, and there are galleries like this too, so let me just caution you on that. There are galleries that will rent you wall space. You know what? If you've got the money to do that and you want to rent some space in North Hollywood to hang one painting and pay that monthly fee and say you're hanging in a gallery, go ahead. If you can afford it, do it. It's exposure. But not all exposure is good, and the gallery's making money off of you. And make sure they're open. They're not just a storefront that once a month they get together in there and do a mailing or whatever. Just know what you're getting into. Investigate. Websites galore. I'm constantly getting email. Oh, we saw your work. It's so wonderful. We want to put it on a website and expose it to the world. The only reason they're saying they're exposing it to the world is because they're on the internet. That doesn't mean anyone knows they exist. That doesn't mean they're actively trying to promote their site or your work. They're just collecting money for having a website with a bunch of images on it. Come on, think. The art world, again, and I've said this myself for many years, the art world's about relationships. Create relationships with who you're going to entrust with your work. I don't care if it's in the gallery, in a festival, online. Don't just blindly throw yourself at things, even if they're free. Don't just blindly participate. Understand that the money drives the world, and if somebody's saying they're doing something for you for free, you can be damn sure there's a way they're going to profit from it. And if you're not included in that profit, then why are you whoring yourself out for free? Have some self-respect, some dignity. Know what you're getting into, and qualify everything that you do. Otherwise, your art, your life, meaningless. Nobody wants that, right? All right, sermon over. See you next time. Thanks again for watching. Really appreciate it, guys. And I hope I'm doing some good. Um, let me know in your comments. Bye.